We're talking about form, or how music is structured and put together. All music has a definite plan, and this plan is known as form. And there are two types that you need to know about, and they're the really simple ones. One is called binary form and one is called ternary form. And of course, because you're all my students and you know how important food is, I did choose some really common junk food that I think would be favourites that you would also be familiar with. So a cupcake is a great example of binary form because it's got two components to it. And yes, I'm aware there are different types of cupcakes. Please bear with me and let's pretend we've just got a simple chocolate cupcake with chocolate icing and sprinkles. Okay? So, one part is the cake part. The other part of a good cupcake has an equal amount of icing. Would we agree on that? Yes. Therefore, binary section piece is a piece that has two equal parts that are similar but different to each other, but they're in similar length. Ternary form is a piece of music that has three parts, but only two of them are different. So just like the biscuit there, that Oreo cookie, we have one part, then we have something else, and then it goes back to that same part. Now sometimes those two that are the same aren't exactly the same, but they're very, very close and recognizable, and so that still counts. So here is a really good example of one of those forms. So if we look at this particular piece, this is what it sounds like, and it should be familiar to everyone. So, if we look for the long endings, this will tell us roughly how many sections there are. And how many bars is a really good thing to count too. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bars. And we've got one long ending there, one long ending there, all up 6. Okay? But if I look at the whole overall section, it's pretty easy to see that most... Okay, now this is going to be fun. Let's see if it lets me do... no fill. Beautiful. Alright, so there is one section that is 4 bars long. Yes? Can you see that section anywhere else? Does it happen again? Whoops-a-daisy. I always do that. There's that same section again. And they're exactly the same. So I can call that section A. And what I do is I put it at the beginning of each of those sections. Now in between that, I've got something totally different. And that's why I'm calling it section B. So knowing that this piece is made up of ABA, what's the form? Unmute.
Ternary?
It sure is. It's ternary form. So that's not that tricky to find, is it? So that's your answer for the first question. All right, let's have a look at the next one. The only other time that you need to worry about the actual form itself, and that's what questions 2 to 4 show you. Actually, I'll just bring these up really quickly to share with you. Sorry, because I would like you to have a play with these at home on your own. Wow, all these screen sizes change so much, don't they? Okay, there we go. So everyone's got these worksheets here. If I scroll down to number 7, so having a look at this particular question here, which is the one I really wanted to show you, is How many bars do you see? You count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now straight away, because there's only 8 bars rather than 12, it's not likely that it's going to be in ternary form, because you can't divide 8 easily into 3 sections. You really can only divide it into 2 sections quite easily. Does that make sense? So it's more than likely going to be binary form in 2 sections. And that's without even looking for patterns that are the same. And the same is going to be true of this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, the hint is even if you don't know where to find each of those sections, they are going to be usually equal in length. And because there's only 8 bars, it's probably going to be a bit too tricky to find a way to divide them into 3. So that's the secret to working out this question. So homework is to finish off lesson 7 questions 2 to 4.